Some of the final moves of a murder suspect before he was captured, caught on video. More about the mysterious Minneapolis address connected to Vance Boelter next. I'm speaking with a neighbor of murder suspect Vance Boelter in North Minneapolis. His name is Adam. He asked that we not mention his last name. I think you'll understand why here in just a bit. But Adam, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Liz. It's a pleasure to be talking to you today.
Just a horrifying few days, I know, for your family, but you've provided Alpha News with security camera video this weekend as a manhunt to find and arrest Boelter dragged on for more than 40 hours. Full disclosure here, the FBI, law enforcement, they also, I know, have access to your video. Thankfully, Boelter is now in custody. He's been federally charged with shooting and killing Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. Boelter has also been charged with shooting and critically injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette. But there's part of the story that happened before these tragic incidents that no one seems to be talking about, along with the video that shows some of his actions before and even after the shootings. But first, what can you tell us about Boelter's living situation there? We understand that he was renting a room, Adam, for the last couple of years, but he wasn't actually staying at the residence all the time. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. He was subleasing a room.
And you mentioned that he'd be there very late at night is usually when you'd observe him there.
Yes, a lot of time he would come after midnight, and then there was also a lot of time where he would leave very early in the morning, like around 4 or 5 a.m.
What did you think of Boelter? What were your impressions?
Well, with the way he dressed and the vehicle that he drove, my wife and I thought that, he was a detective or maybe some kind of private investigator.
So the place where Boelter rented a room seems like a bit of a problem property in the conversations that we've had, Adam. In fact, you said a drug overdose happened there not that long ago. Along with what has happened in the past, there's this security video of what happened last weekend. And again, just to be clear, you are cooperating with law enforcement. They have access to all of this video. Your security cameras record several moments of Boelter just before he allegedly committed these horrific shootings. In hindsight, it seems as though he was setting up Thursday, Friday. Sort of walk us through the timeline here and what did you see?
We didn't see any of his vehicles at the house in the couple days prior to Thursday. And then we did notice after going back through our security footage that he looks like he arrived where he was subleasing at around 10 p.m. on Thursday night. And then he's there in the house and doesn't leave until about Friday around 11:50. And when he leaves Friday, you see him kind of dressed in the clothing where he looks like a detective or a private investigator, and he has like some papers or a notebook in his hand. And then, and we think he was setting up, like planning for the murders. And then around 5:38, 5:40 p.m., he comes back and he has different clothes on, maybe the same pants, but he has a different shirt. So he changed clothes while he was out. He then around 7 p.m. has a raincoat on and loads a bag into the vehicle that he was driving. That was one of the fake police cars. And then he pulls that car around to the back of the property, and that's actually where that car stays. And then around 8:45, it looks like he leaves on a bicycle in the alleyway. And then we did notice, too, that he was back at that residence for something at 12:55 a.m. on Saturday morning. Our camera shows him pulling away from the driveway in the alley right before going to the Hoffman's residence. He comes back at 6 a.m. and breaks the window out of his own vehicle. He's gone and not seen at that residence again. And then around 8 a.m., the Minneapolis police come and take his roommates. And then there's no SWAT operation until 2 p.m.
Okay, so obviously a lot of questions here. We did go ahead and release that video this weekend of him smashing his vehicle, the window out of that vehicle. Any speculation as to why he was doing that?
I think that he may have been smashing his own window out to make it look like there was auto break-in or some kind of alibi. There's been a lot of auto thefts and auto break-ins in this exact neighborhood.
So 3 hours after Boelter allegedly shot and killed the Hortmans, your security camera records him again that morning. It's 2 hours then after that that police are there on scene. What's the scene like now, here days later in that neighborhood? Are you surprised that this address doesn't seem to be more of a focus of the investigation?
Yes, it's actually life as normal. There's been no police presence at all. There was no police presence while he was on the run, and there's been no visible police coming and taking evidence, searching the house, looking for evidence, going through the garage. And it appears that he was the house in Minneapolis was the central hub of his crime. He was here 2 days before and hours after committing the crimes.
What then, Adam, is going through your mind when you hear it's this guy, allegedly behind all of this, Vance Boelter, and that he was living right there for the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's shocking to know that there was a murderer that close to us and that close to my family.
And Adam, this isn't the only crime problem you've had to deal with. You mentioned in previous conversations we've had, things have really changed for the worse in your area. What did you want to say about that?
I think that the residents want a strong police force, and we are not getting that from the Minneapolis police. The Minneapolis police, if you call them, if they don't deem the situation important enough, will not arrive at all. If they do arrive, they arrive late and to almost miss what's happened and then write a report so they can go about their day and not be involved in anything as it's currently happening or breaking down.
Very unnerving for sure, Adam. We wish you the best. Thank you for joining me to talk about all of this.
Thank you, Liz.
And that will do it for this episode of Liz Collin Reports. We'll see you next time.